Welcome back to Sister Stories, Season 3, Episode 2. I'm your host, Stephanie Lloyd. I'm the Director of Community Engagement at the Women's Resource Center to End Domestic Violence. WRCDV is a nonprofit in Decatur, Georgia, dedicated to ending domestic violence and creating a world where there is no more violence. So we do that through a suite of comprehensive services, but specifically focused towards survivors of domestic violence and intimate partner violence. I'm here today by an amazing guest, Tiffany. Tiffany here was a former client of ours who spent some time here in the Safe House, which is where we are now. We're very glad to have her here sharing her story. That's the main focus of the Sister Stories podcast, is to really create a platform where real people can share their real life experiences and what they went through and how they came out stronger and better for it and came out on the other side. Yeah. So Tiffany, thank you so much for being here with us. We
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So just jumping right in.
Okay.
Like I said, starting with whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Tell us a little bit about what brought you to the Safe House back in the day originally?
Originally, I was going back and forth with my child's father with abuse, and then it got to the point where I ended up going to jail for it, over it. Yeah, trying to protect myself.
Oh, no.
So
and they arrested you.
Yeah, they arrested me for it, and because the police didn't believe me. And when they showed up to the door, it was just like, oh, it's another. Basically, they had the attitude, another situation, another day, another dollar. So I tried to explain to them what happened. They took pictures of bruises, knots, and everything. And he said one thing, and they said, okay, well, you lied to us, so we're taking you to jail.
They accused you of lying.
They accused me of lying.
How long ago was this?
This was 2022.
Oh, so not that long ago.
It's not. It wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
And we could probably speak on that later, but I do want to try to get into educating police officers how to approach those situations better.
Oh, yeah, that's
so once I got out, I went back home, and I didn't feel safe at home. He wasn't there, but it was that security door was gone. I didn't feel safe, so I started looking up places, and then I heard he was coming back. So I went to a cousin's house, and I wasn't really allowed to stay there because I did have my baby at the time. So we were there, but we were kind of like a burden there. So
she didn't make you feel particularly welcome.
Yeah, that's what welcome. And then when you're in those type of situations, it resets you mentally. So me trying to figure out what's the next steps to do, with my child and everything. And I was having issues where I was sleeping out of my car. I was working. I will probably go to the family member's house to shower just to not be so much of a burden. And I would stay out all day and all night just working and sleeping in my car for a little while at a time. And finally I was like, enough is enough. Like I need some help. Like it's hard to say that you need help, and to actually, when you're used to being so strong and taking care of yourself and your family, it's hard to say I can't do it on my own no more. Yeah. So I was at that point. So I called and I actually went to, was accepted into one safe house in Forsyth County.
Okay.
And when I went there, it was, I want to say, it wasn't welcoming. It wasn't, the initial welcoming was fine, but once you get in there, it was almost like I don't want to say concentration camp, but it was kind of like a boot camp thing, how they had it put together.
Yeah, sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, but, I get the sense that, there are some attitudes towards, people who are experiencing homelessness where it's like that's sort of criminalized in a way.
Yeah.
Punishing people for being down on their luck.
And I'm not really sure, the background of the other women that was there, but they had us on strict rules, like we were in a rehab facility or something. They would check bags and everything. It just wasn't safe. The food was locked away from us and everything. So
That sense of safety. You
yeah,
keep mentioning there's no sense of safety,
exactly.
and lack of safety.
So it felt like basically like the outside world wasn't safe. If I'm not safe at home, and I'm not safe getting help, like there's nowhere to go. So I went back to living out of my car. I went back to living out of my car and trying to figure out what the next steps was. And I believe I spoke with Miss Barbara. I got a reference to the Women's Resource Center. And I can say from the first time I heard her voice, I knew then like I was going to be taken care of.
Isn't
like
her voice so comforting?
Yes, it is. It is. I love it so much, and it's so reassuring too.
Yeah,
it's so reassuring, and it was just from that first initial conversation with her. It was a 360 from what I've already been through.
So when you first arrived at the Safe House, like you checked in, you did your intake paperwork, you got in, you've got your bag, you're here, I guess, with your daughter. What were some of your first impressions or feelings when you first arrived, your first night?
When I first arrived and they introduced me to the staff members and showed me our room, and we went through the initial interview, the first thing I could do once I got in my room was fall to my knees and thank God. Yeah, thank God, because I was at a safe house. I was at a safe house out of the situation from where I was at. Like, I felt like I had the time to get, and they give you the time when you get here. Like, for the first few days, you don't have to just get yourself together.
Yeah.
I love
that. You can like rest.
Yes, that's something I'll never forget, because when you're going through that situation, your mind is racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour. So you never have time to sit down and think or just process what just happened. So I had those few days to process that, and I didn't look back. I didn't look back. I looked forward from that point on, and I realized too with the Women's Resources Center that was their focus. Like it wasn't so far of forgive and forget the past. It was more of come to terms with what happened in your past, and okay, that happened. Let's work on your future. What do you want for you? How are we gonna, get you to a place where you're not so low? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really love that was my initial upon interest of the safe house.
And how did you begin to reconnect? Like after those first few days, and then you started to get a little more into it, how did you kind of reconnect with yourself and your own strength and your own voice? What kind of helped you feel better or get back on track? Or
having someone to talk to. Just having someone to listen. That's what it was. No one was listening, or it was almost like the same situation. We've been through this with other people before. That's what I was getting, from the outside. So when I got here, it was more of, we're here for you. What is it that you need? What is it can we do for you? Let's see, how can we get you back on your feet? It wasn't more so of, everybody here is going through the same thing, because we're all different people. Like each situation is different, and they understood that.
Wow, that's really great to hear.
Yes.
So looking back, what are some things, looking back at your time here at the Safe House, what were some things, big things or small things that you're proud of yourself for doing since that time, since you were here? What were you proud of?
Getting out of survivor's mode, and just, I was able to thrive again. I was able to, I could say, thrive for like the first time, as far as like even being here in Georgia. Meeting everyone. Like they had the group nights where all of the ladies in the home get together. We talk, introduce ourselves, and find out the things we need, the rules of the safe house and everything. And it was good to be around like-minded people who wanted to thrive and wanted better for themselves and their children and their families. So,
That's great to hear. So the group sessions, having that sense of solidarity and like, you're not alone. You're not alone in the universe.
Yes.
That's great to hear. So what's something that you've learned about yourself since going through this traumatic time, and then kind of coming into a more stable place where you are now and thriving, like you said?
Resilience. I learned a lot about resilience within myself. Setting up boundaries. I didn't realize, we know, but we don't realize how important it is to set up boundaries with people. Families, friends, families, friends, anyone, even your children as well. But sometimes you have to set up boundaries in order to stabilize yourself, because when those boundaries are off or when you go against them, then a lot of times that's how anxiety gets put into the picture and stuff like
grows, yeah.
Resentment grows, regrets, So I learned a lot about how I can put boundaries against people in my life, and it's okay for me to say no to certain things. Like, as much as I care for others and want to do a lot of the things, it's not my job to do those things. So I learned a lot about myself being here, and it was crazy because what felt like years of being here was just a few months, and it went by so fast. And like I said, I grew so much just within those couple months, and just like now, just thriving mentally. So, yes.
And I mean, I can tell that you're in a better place, but I can also tell that this is like you said, a sensitive topic. I completely understand.
And it's really sensitive for me because in a way, I have survivor's guilt, because there's other women out there still going through this, and I feel like they don't have the right resources. Like there should be more women resource centers people like that's willing to help. You have people that love what they do, and then you have people who come to work to do a job. So here I got people who love what they do. Everyone was so professional and knowledgeable in every aspect, in every field that they were working in. So I wasn't used to that, so I love that part of the Women's Resource Center.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I really appreciate you being here, because I know this can't be easy to talk about.
Yeah.
But what made you feel ready to share your story today? What made you agree to do this?
I'm always willing to share my testimony with others, because when you're stuck in that sunken place, and you don't know until you have to be there. When you're stuck in that sunken place, sometimes it's nothing someone could say to you to make you feel better, or to make you feel like this isn't the end and stuff. So I wanted to get out and talk to, about it, to let other women know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can keep going. You can thrive. You can set up boundaries and create peace for yourself. Like, it's all right to start over, basically. It is all right to start over.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's, that's a perfect summary of what we're trying to do here with this podcast. You're talking about how the survivor's guilt of wanting to help all the other women who are going through. We serve 7,000 plus individuals annually, but there's so many more who need help. So you sharing your story today and helping us raise awareness is a fantastic way to help get the word out.
Yeah. And Women's Resource Center was one of the biggest parts of my testimony on as far as like my growth and my walk through life. So any chance I get, I will share. Like we did with the women's books store, we did everyone wrote a poem, and I was able to write my a speech on resilience and how I overcame it. And
that's a great segue, actually, to my next question here. Why, or is there something that you hope a listener out here might take away from hearing your story, your voice today?
Like I said, that you can thrive is not the end. What we go through don't determine who we are. The situations, we can't always choose the situations that we're put in, but we can always choose to thrive afterward, to get over it. I would never call myself a victim. I will never say that I'm a victim of domestic abuse. I'm a survivor, and I pride myself on being a survivalist through that situation, because there are a lot of women who didn't make it out of those situations, or don't know where to go, or have been conditioned that they have to live this way.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point. So, coming away from the past and stepping into the present now,
Yes.
and here in the present moment, looking towards the future, I just want to shift gears and ask you, when you think about what's ahead for you, your future, what gives you hope right now?
To see a smile on my daughter's face and know that she's happy and she feels safe every day. She's thriving.
How old is she?
And she's 3.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's 3. She wasn't even 2 yet when we came to. She was she was about 1.5 maybe when we came to the safe house. So she didn't pretty much know what was going on, but your children, like, they know when they're not home, or they're not safe. So now I see it in her. I'm comfortable with my life where I can get out. I can work, I can teach my daughter, and I sleep at night. That's one of the big things.
Sleeping better?
Yeah, sleeping better. I'm able, like I said, I'm able to actually talk about my story instead of, I held it in for a while. I held it. Like, a lot of my family didn't know, still don't know what I'm going through or what I went through. Yeah. But
Wow.
I realized too that it was people in my family that went through the same thing. So
It's a lot of women. I believe the current statistic is something like 1 in 3 women
Yes.
globally have reported
Exactly.
experiencing domestic abuse of some kind.
a lot of times in, like, families, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about what mom is going through or what an aunt is going through with abuse. So we're told that, it's personal. It's for them to handle if they want to stay with that person, they can, it's their choice. But I feel like if we talk to our children enough about what we've been through and be open and honest with them about the situations, it can keep them
Can be
and
preventative.
avoid, yeah. And stuff. Me, when I witnessed it as a child, it brewed anger in me towards resentment in me towards men and somewhat in a way. And so when like situations would come up where, like, arguments and stuff, I would completely shut down. So it would shut me down. And I feel like had I had someone to teach me about what to expect and how to notice the red flags right away and to know when to leave a situation. I wasn't taught that. So now that I know, like, I can start the next generation of teaching my daughter what to look out for.
Absolutely.
And, just safety in general and relationships. Just, the way things are supposed to go, how your husband is not supposed to talk to you, how, you're not supposed to, whether it's a husband, job, or anything, like, because a lot of times they think abuse and they think physical.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just hitting.
Yeah,
There's a whole gamut of psychological abuse and manipulation tactics.
That's what I had to go through: verbal abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse. All with the same person, and it hit me like I never knew that this was abuse.
Not normal. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't normal for somebody to treat you this way. So yeah, so looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to teaching not only my daughter but younger women too. Like, you just how to address situations, know when to leave, and know when someone is not right for you.
And that's so important.
Yeah, that is really
teach
important.
them. They don't know unless we show them.
Yes.
And their kids are like little sponges. Like, they absorb.
They do.
what the adults are.
Like I said, I didn't
doing.
realize that was traumatic for me as a child, and I took that on in life with me, and it didn't make things any better. So that's how I ended up. I don't want to say I stayed in a situation because I did leave. I did leave the situation,
Yeah.
but it
Now
was
you have the knowledge to know what's better,
yes,
and moving forward now you've
how
got
to
some.
go about leaving.
Exactly.
That's important too, how to go about leaving. So you don't be like me and go to jail. There is safer ways, the right way to do things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been through a heck of a journey, and just hearing your story is that, I mean,
Yes.
you know, you've been through it. It seems like you're doing a lot better. I'd love to hear just a little bit about, like, you know, tell me about something that you're looking forward to, or any other hopes and dreams for the future.
Yeah, right now I'm currently taking real estate classes.
Oh, cool.
And also I'm doing an IT class as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those two work together.
Awesome.
I also I'm the type of person, like, I want almost everything under my belt. So I want to get into, like, learn more about digital marketing and
Okay,
stuff
so
like
you've
that.
got like a mind for technology.
Yes,
That's so
yes.
cool. I know.
I kind of want to beat AI to the punch, but they already got that.
But you know, that's a useful skill. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I'm a firm believer is to the more you teach people, the less a robot could take their job.
Well, just want to wrap it up here with some closing thoughts. It's been
Yes.
so wonderful talking to you and
Yes,
hearing you
ma'am.
share everything. So, what message would you like to share with other women who might be in a similar situation to the one that you were in? What would you say to those women?
Leave. Don't be afraid to leave. Don't be afraid
said
to
leave.
start over. Yeah. And then, I resented that too because
Huh.
I said, well, why do they always want us to leave? Like, in those situations and stuff, it's always, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you stay? Like, why is it our fault? That we don't choose to be here. We take care of households, bills, and everything.
Why was he being abusive in the first place?
Exactly. So to tell you to say, okay, we know you built this life for yourself, but if your husband is treating you this way, leave it all behind. Just leave and
not easy.
start over. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But make a plan. Make a plan
Right.
to leave safely. Think it out. Like, that's all I can say is plan, leave, think it out, and then just go. Like, sometimes we wait around and we wait too long. It could be that one day or that 1 hour or whatever. You don't have to frantically move. Just find help and get help. Get help. Talk to people. Talk to people around you. Let them know what's going on with you. Don't keep it in. I don't care if it's that messy friend who talks too much, or even if you have to write it down in a journal. Tell someone. Let someone know what's going on so they can look out for you. Because a lot of times that we don't have that because we don't want our family to be in our business or to tell us what to do or what not to do. But we need that guidance. We do, and that's a stigma a lot of women need to get over, is asking for help and receiving help.
Wow. So, if you could speak to your past self, the one just arriving here at the safe house, what would you say to her now?
I will tell her to open your book and continue your chapter. Continue writing your chapter. Don't close it. Don't end this story. Your story is just beginning. Each chapter is a new beginning. Just keep writing your story. Keep going until you get to the next chapter and write the next chapter too. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yes. Your book only ends when you end. Keep it going. Always have something in your next chapter.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story with
No
us
problem.
and showing up with like such courage and such vulnerability.
Yes.
I know that it's probably not easy to talk about, but just like you said, like you opening up and, you know, revealing yourself and revealing your journey is such a source of inspiration for other people who might be in that sunken place, as you said. Like,
Yeah, that's my goal too. Like, I'm just getting to the place where I can actually talk about what happened to me and feel comfortable with people actually knowing what I went through. So, like, even though I'm still sensitive about it, like I said, I'm a hypersensitive person. Yeah, like I
Me
feel
too,
for
it's
people.
okay.
I'm a caregiver by heart, and you know, just hospitable. So, if you know, even seeing other girls going through it before I went through it, I've always had that feeling like something needs to change, like something needs to happen, and I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of what's happening for the future as well. And I like what you said at the beginning to keep the violence from happening altogether. So yeah, I mean, I had brainstorm on ways that not only just women, because
Yeah.
we have to think of how can we like counsel the men into like handling anger issues, because a lot of them feel like because they're adults they don't have to go through the counseling, or you know it's too late for anger management.
Men
but
are
it's not.
socialized in a completely different way, but
Yes.
it often sort of breeds this
Yeah,
culture
and
of
I want to
violence.
say to them too, it's not too late to start with anger management, or learning how to manage and walk through life without reacting. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you have to think before you act.
Pause before you
Pause,
act.
yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of the breathing exercises and stuff that we learn and everything, that could be transferred over to
Benefits
man,
everybody.
it benefits, yeah. And I feel like they would feel so great about life if they just let
Get
their
on board.
guards down and get on board.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. That is Tiffany sharing her story with us. Sister Stories, Season 3, Episode 2. Like, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Stephanie Lloyd, Director of Community Engagement here at the Women's Resource Center. Tune in next time. We've got some amazing stories coming up. We'll be dropping episodes monthly and sharing just amazing, inspirational stories from our fabulous, amazing, resilient survivors. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to coming back for another segment.
Awesome.